Good morning, YouTube. I am on the road again, but trying to produce some content for you. I'm listening to Uncut Hoops, and he's got another great one. And yes, I am driving in my piece of shit car. I'll never be able to childishly and insecurely attack my critics the way that LeBron did by talking about my money. I don't have any. I'm rich, bitch! First of all, credit to Uncut Hoops for a few reasons, because he goes out and he gets the clips, he does the research, he looks up the stats, and he delivers it all in a nice package. And believe me, I know that takes a lot of work. So this video is talking about ESPN and other analysts acknowledging that Steph Curry should have won the MVP. And indeed, it was surprising hearing people like Brian Windhorst say things like that. Well, they pretty much didn't have a choice when it came out that the MVP voting started before the important games happened. Now, a couple of things. That's just so weird. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around why you would ever vote for the MVP of a tournament before 50% of the tournament has taken place. Please, by all means, educate my dumb ass, because I can't wrap my head around that. But more importantly, why are we hearing about this now? How did the professionals in the industry, the people who are supposed to know these things, the people who are paid to report on sports, we went through more than a week of hearing people justify that LeBron should get the MVP because of the earlier games that weren't close, because of his glue and other ridiculous arguments. And by the way, a side note on LeBron fans. This really explains LeBron fans. You don't care about the details or what happened. You heard that LeBron got the MVP and you were going to defend it any way necessary, and you were going to back up whatever excuses that the La Media provided, such as saying it was the glue in his overall game in meaningless games. Well, it turns out that your arguments were ridiculous. Even more ridiculous than I originally thought they were. Because voting took place before the important games. Nick Wrong might have been even more surprising than Brian Windhorst. But of course, Nick Wright couldn't even fully admit it.
I would have liked co-MVPs.
He had to talk about co-MVPs, LeBron and Steph, which brings me to a point I talked about in the live stream. I don't think LeBron should be number 2 on that list. I'll break it down, see if the Olympic footage gets flagged a little bit less intensely now that it's removed from current events. But I'll break it down. We'll see who should have been the top runners for MVP. And a side note, Golden Corral said, I don't even know if there's a trophy for it.
I'm not even sure there's a trophy.
Yeah, why do it? If you can't get a trophy, why do it? You know, if you can't have something honoring yourself when you're playing for your country, why do it? And the award shouldn't exist. We know why it exists again now. Do any of you have these nightmare visions of the LeBron James documentary? And LeBron making a fake little speech to the camera about, there was the one thing in my trophy collection that I didn't have and I wanted it. besides the Defensive Player of the Year, that I'll gather some more idiots around me to agree with me that I should have gotten it. The media hyped up this idea that LeBron's overall play throughout the tournament justified him getting the MVP. And we were so busy talking about how ridiculous choosing overall play throughout the tournament was over delivering when your country needed you, that we forgot LeBron didn't actually play that well. 7 points, 10 points, 38% shooting from layups, 11 points. And I kind of alluded to this when I was ripping on Rob Parker and Chris Broussard. No, it was mainly Chris Broussard saying the glue is what deserves the MVP. If LeBron had been the highest scorer, they would have just changed their argument to, if you're the highest scorer, clearly you're the MVP. Now, Uncut, I love you, but I have a problem with the next section. He said that LeBron for the next 2 games was phenomenal. Phenomenal? I mean, come on. Again, it was almost all layups and dunks that he scored. You're showing a clip of him committing an offensive foul that wasn't called. Another possible travel, or at least compared to what they called traveling in the 90s. And again, it was a layup. The guy is scared to death to do a pull-up jumper when it matters. Shit, pretty much all the time now. And it's really hard to prove this, but I feel like the rules have catered to the steroid version of LeBron James, where he gets to rely on just bulldozing toward the rim and using his size. Because 2 things. You've got the size advantage, but you also have what is apparently a rule that you can't touch him. You know, nobody's contesting him. Dude, it's for the game. Foul him hard. It's for the game. Foul him hard. I'm not saying do something nasty, but don't give him a fucking layup to win the game. Who does that? Whose coach said give him the layup?
Uncut comes back from that minor criticism I had of him strong
by talking about how prematurely LeBron was crowned.
Now, after those 2 great games, the NBA media, what were they saying? Well, LeBron James is the best American player or top 5 player, can carry this team to gold. After 2 great exhibition games, they were saying that.
And again, this goes back to what I said at the beginning of this video. When you hear what you want to hear, you immediately embrace it. You don't care about the context. You don't care if it was even true. And that's a LeBron fan. And 99.9% of the time, the media is going to compliment LeBron. And they were just way out of line giving that much praise in blowout games. Not to mention that it was over the course of 2 games. Tips. You see how wide open. Or the Olympic team. What I'm asking is, who can't fulfill that position? Who wouldn't be able to replace the guy who makes open layups, open dunks? You know what I mean? Who can't make a backdoor cut when the other team F's up? When the other team forgets that you're there because you're not a shooting threat? I know, you're going to talk about how poorly Steph played in the beginning. Yeah, he did not have particularly good games, which means they were on par with LeBron's games that you guys are so excited about. I guess Steph should have shot more layups. Like LeBron, if he wanted to increase his shooting percentage in those games. Stop having the balls to shoot from outside, Steph. Go cherry pick, and we'll praise you. Because I'm so accustomed to the excuses from La Media and LeBron fans, I'll just point out one thing that Uncut didn't get to, and they're going to argue the technicality of, we don't know how many people voted early. Well, let's see if we can find that out. One more thing. When I mentioned that they prematurely want to crown LeBron, you remember that they actually said that this got LeBron past Jordan finally? We have this conversation every year, by the way, and it never becomes true. You got to take this away now. That's how premature the professionals are. That's how badly La Media wants to crown LeBron, that they crowned him with something so quickly that now they're going to have to retract it, because that MVP is now officially bullshit. And gonna piss some people off here, but I think the gold medal is bullshit too.
All right, I am finally in a place where I can edit this, and I tried to find out who exactly the voters were. It's still vague. They said the media and FIBA experts, as other people have already mentioned. I thought, well, surely there's something a little bit more detailed than that. Nope, not so far. So the media, let's go one at a time. The media means that people like Brian Windhorst, etc., should have been the first people to know about the QR code and the early voting. So what are they acting surprised about this now for? Why are they reporting on it now? I thought that the media voted on this. And even if you weren't included in the voting pool, how do you not know about this stuff? It's your job to know and report on it. Not for YouTubers to do it. And next, FIBA experts. Experts at FIBA think that you should open the voting before the deciding games are played? I don't know. And you know, FIBA experts. The FIBA referees didn't even ref by FIBA rules. It was a weird Olympics. To be clear, the way that Windhorst said it was a little bit muffled. So the quote is, they opened the voting 2 days before the semifinal against Serbia. Well, I'd better get to editing the actual games, breaking down the games now that I finally have a computer in front of me. But I wanted to give you my initial reaction to this news and to Uncut, who actually put this out 2 days ago. Isn't it interesting? No one else has mentioned this, so I'll give myself a little bit of credit on this one. 2004 was when the MVP, I guess, according to this, it was the first time that they did this, gave an MVP for basketball. And that was when LeBron was in and got Team USA the bronze. I wonder if they were hoping to crown LeBron James with an MVP. And you notice that after that happened, they took it away. They got rid of it. They got rid of it until 2021. And now here they reintroduced it and planned on giving it to this guy from the very beginning. Man. Stranger than fiction.